Welcome back to the firing line. If you have spent any serious time on a public range, you know the auditory difference. Someone touches off a 9mm and it is a sharp, fast crack. But then the guy in the next bay drops the hammer on a .45 automatic. You feel that low, deep concussion right in your chest. That is the sound of American firearms heritage. It is the heavy-hitting projectile that dug our boys out of the trenches in Europe. And for folks who trust physics over fads, a 230-grain hollow point moving at 850 feet per second still commands absolute respect. But let me shoot straight with you. Merely having that legendary cartridge stamped on the barrel does not guarantee the gun will save your life. I have seen plenty of jam-o-matics on the line that I would not trust to hammer a nail. Conversely, I have run hand-fit masterpieces that cycle like a well-oiled machine. Today we are cutting through the marketing noise. Whether you need a Polymer nightstand gun, an heirloom piece, or a daily carry rig, we are counting down the top 10 .45 caliber platforms that are actually worthy of your holster. Let us get into it. Number 10. Kicking things off at number 10, we have the Smith & Wesson M&P 45 Shield Performance Center. Look, carrying a full-size service pistol in the middle of summer is miserable. But if you refuse to compromise on caliber, this little hot rod is your ticket. It weighs a hair under 23 ounces, and with that short 6.5-inch footprint, it completely vanishes under a simple t-shirt. Now, physics tells us that a lightweight gun firing a heavy round equals punishing recoil. But the engineers at the Performance Center worked some absolute magic here. They ported both the barrel and the slide. When you break a shot, those V-shaped exhaust ports jet the expanding gases vertically. It actively forces the muzzle down, keeping your front sight tracking right where it belongs. You get a very functional stippling job that locks into your firing grip without shredding your concealment garments. You also get high-quality tritium night sights straight out of the box. You can run the flush 6-round magazine for maximum concealment, or click in the extended 7-rounder for a full firing grip. You can usually find these hovering between $550 to $600. Pros: it is effortlessly concealable. The factory night sights are a massive plus. The porting drastically reduces muzzle flip for faster follow-up shots. It is extremely reliable with defensive ammunition, and the grip texture is perfectly balanced for everyday carry. Cons: if you ever have to use those ports in total darkness, expect a decent flash in your line of sight. Plus, that Performance Center badge does bump the price up over a standard shield. Number 9. Coming in at number 9, the Ruger SR 1911. Polymer Wonder 9s are great, but John Browning's design is a permanent fixture in American gun culture. Ruger gave us a working man's version of this legendary platform, and they executed it brilliantly. This is 5 inches of barrel wrapped in 39 ounces of government profile stainless steel. That sheer mass acts like a shock absorber, turning the .45 ACP recoil into a gentle, rolling push. I love that Ruger stuck to the traditional Series 70 internals. There are no unnecessary firing pin blocks dragging across your trigger press. Instead, they utilized a lightweight titanium firing pin with an extra power spring to ensure it is completely drop-safe. The barrel-to-bushing lockup is exceptionally tight for a production gun. It features a checkered mainspring housing and a clean set of Novak sights that will not snag on your cover garment. Feed it from the included 8-round magazine, and it will effortlessly hold sub-3-inch groups at 25 yards. Depending on where you shop, expect to drop between $610 to $900. Pros: it is a rugged, all-stainless American workhorse. The trigger breaks cleanly right out of the plastic case. The Series 70 design is pure and simple. It points with that natural, instinctive 1911 geometry. Cons: carrying a nearly 40-ounce slab of steel all day is a serious physical commitment, and a 5-inch barrel can be tricky to comfortably hide inside the waistband. Number 8. At number 8, the Wilson Combat ACP, or American Combat Pistol. If you have lusted after a Wilson but your bank account disagrees, this is how you get into the club. They did not waste time polishing this gun for a glass display case. They built a 41-ounce carbon steel fighting implement. The standout feature is what they call the eagle claw grip texture. I will be honest, it is aggressive. But when your hands are sweaty or you are running drills hard, that texture locks the frame into your palm like industrial Velcro. The flared magwell makes reloading incredibly forgiving under stress. For sights, they went with a bright fiber optic front and a wide U-notch rear. It is an incredibly fast sight picture to process. The trigger is exactly what you expect from Wilson, snapping cleanly between 3.5 and 4.5 pounds. They physically guarantee this gun will shoot 1-inch groups at 25 yards. That is mechanical perfection. It will set you back over $3,300, but it is a lifetime investment. Pros: the hand-fitted tolerances are spectacular. It balances perfectly in the hand. The sight configuration is designed for rapid engagement. The trigger pull is world-class, and the internal components are built for extreme round counts. Cons: it lacks front cocking serrations, and there is no optic cut, though the iron sights are so good you might not care. Number 7. Taking the 7th spot, the Sig Sauer P220. Before everyone decided handguns had to be made of plastic, this was the benchmark for modern service weapons. It is heavy-duty German engineering tailored for the American big-bore market. It utilizes a 4.4-inch barrel housed in a lightweight alloy frame. That keeps the unloaded weight right around 30 ounces, making it surprisingly carry-friendly. Because it runs a single-stack 8-round magazine, the grip circumference is remarkably slim. It fits hands that usually struggle with double-stack 45s. The slide is protected by SIG's proprietary nitron finish, which is highly resistant to sweat and corrosion. This is a traditional double-action, single-action mechanism. Your first trigger press is a long, deliberate safety measure, but every subsequent shot is a short 4.5-pound single-action break. It ships with SIG Light night sights, and its reliability is legendary. I have literally watched these guns feed empty brass casings on the range. If it cycles an empty case, it will absolutely feed your premium hollow points. You are looking at $800 to $1,600 depending on the specific trim. Pros: battle-proven reliability. It offers the durability of a duty gun with the weight of a carry gun. Quality night sights are factory standard. The slim grip ergonomics are fantastic. It delivers excellent combat accuracy. Cons: it carries a premium price tag for an older design, and transitioning from that heavy double action to the light single action takes dedicated dry fire practice. Number 6. Sliding into number 6, the Springfield Armory TRP. This tactical response pistol was born directly from the FBI hostage rescue contract requirements. This is a thoroughbred fighting handgun. Both the forged steel frame and slide are treated with armory coat to withstand brutal environmental conditions. At 42 ounces, it sits dead level in your hands. Now, let us talk about the grip. The front strap features 20 lines per inch checkering, paired with G10 VZ Hydra grip panels. It feels like grabbing a handful of coarse gravel. It is absolutely punishing on bare hands. But when you pull the trigger, that gun does not shift a single millimeter in your grip. It runs a match-grade stainless barrel mated to a hand-fitted bushing. The tactical rack tritium sights feature a steep ledge on the rear. If your offhand is injured, you can rack that slide off your belt or holster with ease. A blended magwell ensures your reloads are smooth and fumble-free. Pricing sits between $1,800 and $2,000. Pros: the slide-to-frame fit is exceptionally tight. The aggressive checkering guarantees retention in mud or blood. The tactical sights are built for hard use. It is designed to digest tens of thousands of rounds. It feeds every bullet profile reliably. Cons: that grip texture will chew your hands to pieces during an all-day training class, and the busy sight picture is not for everyone. Number 5. At number 5, we step into the realm of functional art with the Nighthawk Custom Firehawk. Nighthawk operates on a completely different level. One master gunsmith builds the entire gun from a box of parts. The Firehawk was engineered specifically to cheat physics. It utilizes a bull barrel with a seamlessly integrated compensator. This is not some cheap threaded add-on. It is machined as part of the barrel assembly to redirect expanding gases straight up. The result? You can run rapid-fire strings of .45 automatic and the muzzle simply refuses to rise. They paired a shorter commander-length slide with a full-size frame, which speeds up the cyclic rate tremendously. Up front, you get a solid 24-karat gold bead sight. It catches ambient light incredibly well without the fragility of fiber optics. The custom scalloped G10 grips provide excellent traction, but greatness demands a hefty toll. You will need between $6,600 and $7,000 to put this in your safe. Pros: flawless heirloom quality craftsmanship. The integrated compensator makes it shoot flat like a competition gun. The gold bead front sight is highly visible and durable. It is easily the softest recoiling .45 ACP on the market. Cons: the price is astronomical for the average shooter, and it typically does not offer a red dot mounting solution. Number 4. Number 4 brings us high capacity without the crushing weight. The Glock 21 Gen 5 MOS. When law enforcement needed a big-bore duty gun, this Austrian powerhouse was the default answer. The Gen 5 updates really modernized this platform. Glock finally removed those restrictive finger grooves, allowing you to establish a proper master grip regardless of your hand size. They added an ambidextrous slide stop and a subtly flared magwell for faster reloads. But the primary upgrade is the MOS footprint on the slide. You can bolt your favorite red dot optic right on from the factory. Fully loaded, this Polymer striker-fired pistol carries 13 rounds in the magazine, plus 1 in the pipe. Yet unloaded, it weighs just 27 ounces. The Polymer frame has an inherent flex that actually acts as a shock absorber, softening the recoil impulse of the heavy bullet. The slide is protected by a diamond-hard DLC finish that brushes off holster wear. It will hold its own on the 25-yard line all day long. And at roughly $745, it is undeniably the best value here. Pros: massive 13-round capacity, factory ready for miniature red dot sights, legendary boring Glock reliability, very lightweight for a full-size .45. Aftermarket support and spare parts are infinite. Cons: the factory plastic sights are just placeholders that need immediate upgrading. And if you have smaller hands, the grip circumference feels like holding a piece of lumber. Number 3. Taking the bronze medal at number 3, the Wilson Combat CQB. This is their flagship model, and it is the metric by which every other premium 1911 is measured. If you refuse to accept compromises, you buy a CQB. It revolves around a hand-fitted 5-inch stainless match barrel that locks into battery like a bank vault door. The entire gun is coated in their proprietary armor-tough finish. It is self-lubricating and highly resistant to daily wear and tear. They usually coat these in utilitarian colors like flat dark earth or olive drab. The sighting system uses Heine straight 8s. You just stack the 2 tritium dots vertically and press. It is a highly intuitive, incredibly fast system under stress. The trigger is absolute perfection, braking sharply at 3.5 pounds with 0 overtravel. The front strap checkering is cut at a comfortable 30 lines per inch. It gives you solid purchase without tearing holes in your shirts. It feeds via the renowned Wilson 47D magazines, ensuring total reliability. Expect to pay between $3,200 and $3,800. Pros: unmatched semi-custom fitment, a trigger press that rivals custom target rifles, inherent mechanical accuracy that surpasses most shooters' abilities, highly effective night sights. All sharp edges are carefully dehorned for comfortable daily carry. Cons: it is a significant financial investment, and as a full-size steel gun, it will pull your belt down if you do not use a proper gun belt. Number 2. The runner-up at number 2, the Heckler & Koch 45 Compact Tactical. This pistol carries the heavy DNA of the Mark 23, a handgun famously deployed by SOCOM. This thing was born to be suppressed. It ships from the factory with an extended, threaded barrel ready to accept your can. Heckler & Koch installed tall tritium night sights, so you can establish a clear sight picture right over the top of a suppressor. Internally, they use a proprietary rubber O-ring near the muzzle. This locks the barrel tightly against the inside of the slide, wringing out exceptional accuracy. The polymer frame keeps the weight down to a manageable 28 ounces. Now, the magazine release is that classic European paddle style located on the trigger guard. A lot of American shooters hate it at first, but I promise you, once you train with it, you can drop a magazine with your trigger finger incredibly fast. You can run flush 8-round magazines or use the 10-round extended floor plates for a full grip. This is an over-engineered survival tool. Prices generally fall between $1,000 and $1,250. Pros: fully suppressor-ready out of the box. Controls are accessible for both right and left-handed shooters. It boasts military-grade reliability. The O-ring barrel design guarantees tight groupings. It is perfectly sized for concealed carry or home defense. Cons: the grip geometry is a bit thick. You have to dedicate training time to master the paddle release. And factory Heckler & Koch magazines will drain your wallet. Number 1. And taking the absolute number 1 spot on our list, the F&FN X45 Tactical. This is the heavy-duty, heavyweight champion of the modern combat handgun world. FN engineered this platform specifically for the U.S. military's Joint Combat Pistol program. It is unapologetically massive, and it dominates this category for one huge reason: capacity. This polymer beast holds an unbelievable 15 rounds of .45 automatic in the magazine, plus 1 in the chamber. You are walking around with double the firepower of a standard 1911. It ships with a cold hammer-forged threaded barrel, begging for a silencer. The tall suppressor height night sights allow you to co-witness perfectly through a slide-mounted red dot. And yes, the slide is milled for optics right from the factory floor. Every single control on this gun is ambidextrous. The safety, the decocker, the slide stop, the magazine release. It is perfectly mirrored for weak hand operations. The double-action, single-action trigger system gives you the reassurance of second strike capability if you ever encounter a hard primer. Having this much big-bore firepower on tap feels like carrying a primary weapon system on your belt. For around $1,200, nothing else comes close in sheer capability. Pros: unrivaled 15+1 capacity. Completely ready for optics and suppressors. True ambidextrous functionality. Military-grade durability. Flawless reliability with all ammunition types. Cons: it is undeniably bulky. Concealing this under normal clothing is nearly impossible, and the initial double-action trigger pull is quite heavy. That wraps up our rundown of the most capable heavy hitters chambered in John Browning's cartridge. From deep concealment problem solvers to absolute tactical sledgehammers. Did your daily carry make the cut? Or did I leave your favorite big bore off the list? Jump down into the comments section below and let me know your thoughts. If you found this breakdown helpful and you appreciate honest reviews without the corporate fluff, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss our next trip to the range. Stay safe, train hard, and keep your powder dry.